Tainan is the cultural capital of Taiwan, where the streets are steeped in literature. Let's dive into the text of Ye Shitao and explore the areas of Tainan to experience what the city has to offer.
The West Central District is not to be missed during your visits to Tainan. This district is bustling with local culture, history, food, life, and art. It has also preserved a lifestyle unique to the city and its past. Over the past 300 years, from daily life to religion, culture, craftsmanship to architecture, all the collective memories have been remembered in literature. Now, let's follow the literature map dedicated by the writer Ye Shitao to explore the old city of Tainan.
Hi there, I'm Kate. Tainan is a city place for work, dreaming, marrying, and enjoying life. This famous sentence came from Dr. Ye Shitao, one of the most remarkable writers in Taiwan. Today, we'll take a walk based on his writings about Tainan, which are called literary works. The first place we must visit is Ye Shitao Literature Memorial Museum. Want to know more about this pioneering Taiwanese writer? Come with me.
Ye Shitao Literature Memorial Museum was originally known as Tainan Forestry Office. In 2002, it was recognized as a historic site at the city level. After Ye's passing in 2008, many art-related communities urged to build a memorial hall to honor this pioneering Tainan-born writer. The house of Ye Shitao is located on Daying Land of Zhongli Road, not far away from the Tainan Forestry Office, with the National Museum of Taiwan Literature on the left and the Confucian Temple across the street. In 2012, the Tainan Forestry Office was renamed the Ye Shitao Literature Memorial Museum. Visitors get to learn about the writer's life and literary output through its permanent exhibition.
在台南，大家都知道的名言是这4个适合人们做梦、干活、恋爱、结婚、悠然过日子的好地方。那其实这一段话是出自于他有一篇随笔，叫做《台南的古街名》。
In this writing, two of Tainan's characteristics have been pointed out. It's not only the capital of culture, teeming with historic sites, ancient streets, and traditional culture, but also the capital of forests. During the Japanese rule, the colonizers have planted many trees in Tainan. It became a gloriously green city, perfect for storing and living. As Ye Shitao said, this is a good place for enjoying life. The first floor of the museum displays the permanent exhibition, allowing visitors to have a close-up look at Ye's life, literary output, manuscripts, and so on. You will also find his study on the second floor. Not only the original study has been restored, but the furniture inside his study has been transported all the way from his house in Kaohsiung. The multimedia room on the second floor hosts temporary exhibitions as well.
In this reading room, the museum offers a lot of books and magazines of Taiwan literature. It's also a nice and quiet place that you can take a rest and then dive into the sea of literature. If you want to know more about Taiwanese literature, the National Museum of Taiwan Literature is a must-visit place. It's the first national museum dedicated to the literary arts. Its mission is to spread the literary knowledge and applications. It also hopes master reading and the literary arts a friend for your life. Quite nice, isn't it?
Tainan is a city of reading. The National Museum of Taiwan Literature offers great exhibitions, and there is a coffee shop right next to it. You can look out of the window to appreciate architecture while sipping a cup of coffee or reading a book under the warm sun of Tainan.
Need a break from the hustle and bustle of daily life? You don't need to go to Europe. Just come to Tainan to enjoy a cozy vacation. What a wonderful day.
The local bike share program P-Bike is a growing trend in Tainan. There are 8 stations across the West Central District. With a Tainan Civil Card, it only costs 5 Taiwanese dollars per 30 minutes. Thanks to T-Bike, getting around the city is easier than ever.
The one thing you can't miss in Tainan is to taste the street food as many as you can. This is baozi, a traditional food in Taiwan, and this is a classic pork baozi. It's made with the fresh pork, scallions, flour mushroom, and salty egg yolk. Also, there are many different flavors, like this one, the taro baozi. It's like a heart, right? And it's so cute. And also, it's a sweet flavor. If you want to try the sweet flavor, I think the taro baozi is a good choice.
Not far away from the National Museum of Taiwan Literature, the Taiping Jing Maxwell Memorial Church and the former Tainan Meteorological Station are also very worth a visit. Street food in Tainan is yummylicious.
You can easily enjoy many different cuisines everywhere in Tainan. This is Taiwanese turkey rice. It's made with the shredded turkey meat over a bowl of rice and pour a spoonful or two the oily cooking liquid over the turkey. It also goes well with soy sauce, pickled cucumber. It's really nice and salty.
Go down the street next to the former Tainan Meteorological Station, and you will find yourself standing in front of Tiantan, the altar of heaven.
As the oldest city in Taiwan, there are many historic temples in Tainan. Tiantan is a very critical temple, you can't miss it. The main god people worship in Tiantan is the Jet Emperor. And Jet Emperor rules over all mortal realms. That's the reason why Tiantan is one of the spiritual centers for local people.
It is believed that in 1661, after Zheng Chenggong defeated and expelled the Dutch from Taiwan, he built an altar of heaven at the highest point in Tainan, Zhouling. It was a flat piece of land to worship the heaven, also known as Tiangongchen in Taiwanese Hokkien language. It wasn't until 1854 that the temple was constructed on that piece of land. It was Tiangong Temple or Tiantan as we know today. The Sanchuan Hall connects the main property to the entrance of the temple. Here at Tiantan, the E tablet, which literally means one, is vigorous and concise. There's a Taiwanese saying that goes, "We can never predict our fate, as the heaven can change that with a single stroke." What it really means is that man purposes but God deposes. The main hall boasts the spectacular stone pillars carved with glowing dragons. 5 ornament short posts rise from 4 multi-tiered beams to support the roof purlines, with 2-way supporting brackets on each side and 2 other cornices in the shape of dragon-headed marine turtles below the largest beam. The cultural relics here are very precious, from painting, cut and paste art, to stone and wood carving. All were made by prestigious artisans and are impressive to look at. Tiantan still retains the traditional Taoist rituals to seek blessings and good luck. A visit to Tiantan allows you to get to know the Taiwanese religious life in the most traditional way.
Are you a big fan of second-run movie theater? In Tainan, the most fan and popular second-run movie theater is Quanmei. It's a reminder of the way movie-going used to be. The theater's most eye-catching nostalgia is hand-painted posters. They are painted by a very genius movie poster artist, Yan Zhenfa.
全美戏院是从民国39年营业到今天。全美戏院它历经了很多电影的一个发展，包括了无声电影、有声电影、黑白电影、彩色电影，都在我们这个空间场域当中发生。
The nostalgic hand-painted movie placards are the main draw here. Before the rise of printing, these hand-painted billboard-sized posters were dominant. Most movie theaters were in single buildings with very wide facades. Hand-painted movie placards made it much easier to promote the current shows. Except for being hung outside the theater, these billboards were also carried around by promotional tricycles and became successful mobile advertisements. The rise of printing gradually led to the decline of hand-painted advertising. The Quanmei Theater is the only in Tainan that still retains this old-fashioned cool. Across the street from the theater, you can see the local artist Yan Zhenfa using pen and brushes to paint the posters of upcoming movies onto the 3-sheet or quad-sized wooden boards. It takes serious skill to succeed without deforming the actors and actresses.
全美戏院一直以来秉持着这样子保存文化的一个概念、一个理想，然后坚持到现在。
The survival of traditional hand-painted posters allows the artist to continue to inspire and impress, and eventually pass down his skills and crafts to the younger generations.
We are at a morning market, and it's called Shuixian Temple Market. The Shuixian Temple Market is one of the oldest markets in Tainan. It's not only an important shopping site for local people, but also a center of authentic cuisine of Tainan. How can we miss it? Let's go!
The vendors at Shuixian Temple Market are very diverse. You can find pretty much everything here, from rare ingredients that are hardly found in traditional markets to, of course, delicious local delicacies.
We are inside the Bao's Village Market. This is a seafood noodle soup store. Can't wait! It's a seafood noodle soup, and it looks so great. I want to give it a try. Except the seafood, especially, there are many ingredients in the bowl, like pork liver, fish ball, squid, and the breast pork. And sometimes the scallion is added for extra flavor in Taiwan.
Xinmei Street was formerly known as Rice Street because it was lined with rice-related businesses. The Rice Street extends from Chengong Road to Mingzu Road. Between Mingzu Road and Mingchen Road, you will find the Sacrificial Rice Martial Temple and the Grand Mazu Temple. In the past, if the locals planned to spend time outside of the house, they would visit the temples to pray for approval by drawing a fortune stick, which is why the street is also called Fortune Draw Street. In recent years, Xinmei Street has been fueled by a young spirit of creativity. Exhibitions and street art prevail. Many old houses have been converted into independent coffee shops. Even creative markets take place from time to time. Taking a leisurely stroll along Xinmei Street will surely give you a feast for the eyes and the mouth.
Speaking of cooling down the summer heat, one can but think of a variety of the ice sticks. This is today's special. It's made with dragon fruit and kiwi and pineapple. I fear the winter is coming! During the period of Dutch administration, there were two centers in Tainan City. One is Fort Lizendia in Anping, and another is Fort Provindia, it's Shikan Lou or Shikan Tower. The Dutch made Fort Provindia as a hub of administrative and commercial activities. Today, Shikan Lou is also known as one of famous spots in Taiwan. There are many street food around here. Let's go and find out.
Shikan Tower, also known as Fort Provincia, was built in 1652 as the heart of administrative and commercial activities. In 1886, it was renovated with roof cornices and red tiles. Wenchang Pavilion, Haishan Temple, and Penghu Academy were then constructed on its original site and have been standing for more than 300 years. What you definitely can't miss at Shikan Tower is the 9 imposing Bixi styles. They were built in 1788 during the reign of Emperor Qianlong to celebrate the pacification of the very first of Taiwan's largest rebellion. These large stills are carried on the back of 9 stone turtles, so they are commonly known as turtle stills. In addition to the ancient architecture, the local eateries around Chikan Tower are especially worth visiting. You will find historic restaurants as well as authentic delicacies from around the city gathered here to offer a tantalizing taste of Tainan. Be sure to visit the West Central District during your trip to Tainan. You will be surprised in many good ways.